Hello and welcome to the Backland Report. Every week, Fred Altvater and I check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Hey, we cover anything and everything golf. In other words, if it happened in golf, we have it for you. Fred, and this week we have to talk about Nelly Korda and that first major, that win on the KPMG Ladies Championship.
Well, Carlos, the big thing for me was that Nelly Korda had two eagles on Sunday, two eagles on par fives. Now, I mean, it's one thing, the men, there are some shorter par fives that are only 470, 480. That's just like a long par four for those guys, right? And so they will stick a 4 iron or something in there and make a putt for an eagle, on the longer guys. But for the women and for Nelly to make two eagles on par fives in one round, that's phenomenal. I was telling you off camera, I've had two actual eagles in my lifetime, and I've been playing golf for 50 years, right? And the other is that today we played in a scramble, and I was playing with really good golfers. I mean, very, very good, low handicap players. And there was only three par fives, and we eagled one of them. And so, it's really hard to make eagles, and she had two of them. So that's pretty impressive.
And that was the difference, definitely. Before, not only the difference on Sunday, because if you see that 63 that she had on Friday, that also made a huge difference. That moved her all the way to the top. But Lisette Salas, it was a two women matchup on Sunday because of that move. But Lisette never gave up, even though Nelly started really right away with that birdie on the third hole. Then that first eagle that you're mentioning, that was on the fifth hole that she made that first eagle. It was matched by a birdie by Lisette, but the difference, you could see it. While Nelly was reaching those par fives in two, Lisette was hitting hybrids and long irons to get there. So she couldn't really match Nelly on the distance. But really, I was told by somebody yesterday, look, she was just outplaying Lisette because she was outdistancing her. But no, Nelly did very well. She was 49 holes consecutively without a bogey. That bogey came on that par 315, which really gave her fits all week when she put it into the water. But when you come and see the other difference, because Lisette really got a back-to-back birdies on 5 and 6 to really pull back to within one. So at that point, I texted you, hey, she hasn't given up. I thought that she was going to have to play the game of her life, but on that par 5 12, that was the difference. Nelly did nail that eagle, but then Lisette came back with that bogey, and that was it. That game is over. Because after that, then that was another birdie by Nelly, two more on the par 4 14. Yeah, the bogey on 15, but all that it did was just change the score for Nelly. But this is something that we have been talking about ever since Nelly started playing. That at some point, and I remember us talking about it last year and at the beginning of this year, is will Nelly Korda be this next American superstar that we have been waiting for? We talked about Michelle Wee years ago. We talked about even Stacey Lewis. We're going to talk about who have been the Americans at number one, but even when that happened, would she be the one? Lexi Thompson has been the one that everybody has been expecting to. When we talked about Nelly Korda, we think this is the girl that has the game to do it. Not only the game, but the attitude towards it. She has been groomed basically by her sister, and even she acknowledged that she has been lucky to have been groomed by shown the ropes by her sister Jessica to really get that advantage that many other players don't get. Show her how things are done, traveling, the things that they have to do, having that older sister to look forward for her. That is incredible. She has a great advantage in that sense. But definitely right now for Nelly, finally, not only with this win, she took over on the Rolex rankings #1 spot, only the third American. And people don't know this, but the Rolex rankings, called Rolex rankings now, but let's call them the world rankings, uh, have been around on the latest since 2006. Only three Americans now with her. The first one was Christy Kerr, who was 5 weeks number one, and then Stacy Lewis. It was 7 years ago that that happened. She was number one by 4 weeks. I'm sure Nelly's going to be more than that. So she'll become the longest tenure American for sure. She also took the lead on the Rolex Anikka Award, which is who's going to do better, who does better in the majors. So she's right now the leader. Of course, there's two more to go, so anything can happen. But reaching the world's number one, I mean, she was number three before her win here. She moved ahead of Jin Young Ko and Inbee Park, ending Jin Young Ko's run of 100 weeks atop of the rankings. And Fred, I'm going to stop here right now. I have some other numbers I want to run by and talk a little bit about Nelly and what we expect about her in the future. But really exciting to see Nelly Korda, an American we know, and this is a worldwide on the ladies. It's an international, fully international game, but finally seeing one American step up and be number one, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and the LPGA really needs an American woman to be dominant on the LPGA. They really need that. I mean, it's really important. And we haven't had that. And we've been looking for that. We talk about the LPGA all the time. And I have to be honest with you, I really didn't think it would be Nelly Korda. I really thought maybe it would be one of the younger girls that are still coming up. I really didn't think it would be Nelly. But she looks now to be very confident. She has the length. She has the all-round game to dominate. We saw that. We've seen it the last 2 weeks in a row. The Blythe Field up there at Grand Rapids, where they played the Meyer the week before, it's not the longest golf course in the world. You have to be very accurate there. It's not a bomber's golf course. And then the Atlanta Athletic Club, that's a major track. That's a real golf course, okay? And they've had men's opens there. They've had men's PGAs. I mean, it's a big track. And she dominated there with her length. So she has the all-around game to do it. Now she has the confidence that, she seems to want to be in that position. So this really is pretty exciting for Nelly Korda to be doing this. She shoots 68 on the weekend. She won by 3 shots over Salas. She dominated the par fives. What more can you say? First player since Stacy Lewis in 2014 to reach number one. I think that's fantastic. To get off Nelly for just a minute, there was an interesting side note on Friday afternoon. Maria Fassi, playing her 9th hole, which was the 18th, she made birdie. But when she got done, she had been on the clock. They assessed her a 2-shot penalty. So she really made bogey on that hole. When she got done, she ended up at +3. She missed a cut. The cut came at +2. She missed a cut by a stroke. So, the LPGA is really cracking down on this slow play thing. And I know you like this because you do not like slow play. But Maria Fassi, that penalty really knocked her out of the weekend, didn't get to play this weekend.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but like you say, anything with slow play, I don't care who it is. Could be Tiger Woods. Move along, man. Let's get this going. There's no space here for slow play. So it's unfortunate. I really wanted her to make the cut, even if I know she wasn't going to win, but I really wanted to see her do well. That she's one of those young players that you really like to see play. But other players that we can mention, I mean, Patty Tevatanakit, another of the major winners, she did pretty well. She did T5. She didn't do that well on Sunday, 74 +2. So not good finish for her. Danielle Kang was T5 there as well. Julia Molinaro finished T3rd with Hyo Young Kim, who made a huge move there with that 4-under on Sunday to finish T3rd. Other players that we can talk about, Sei Young Kim, T12. Leona Maguire, I'm excited that she keeps playing really well. That was a T15. Didn't threat at all, but she played evenly. all week long. So she was there. Jessica Korda, Nelly's sister, finished also T17. Another of the young players to watch for Yalimi No, played really well with a T15. Yuka Sasso, the previous major winner, the US Open winner, finished T21. She was around, and finished well with that 67. Couldn't do it there that well. Charlie Hall started very well, but faded through the weekend. Brooke Henderson also T21 along with Georgia Hall. So Fred, how about the rest of the field? Who impressed you? Who you liked their finish? Who disappointed?
Yeah, I don't really have any comments on that, Carlos. I really just watching the leaders. It was really a two-woman race there with Salas and Korda. And Salas kept making pars on the back nine, couldn't make any birdies. And when Korda made the eagle at 12 and just finished strong the rest of the way out, Salas just couldn't catch her. So that really was all that I've got for that. The only final thought that I have, Carlos, is that I have to admit that I really did not get to see much of the KPMG Women's PGA. I take that back. I saw one shot that was on YouTube. I saw Nelly hit the upside down 7-iron along the lake up on the green. I don't know if you've ever tried that shot. I've played around with that a little bit. I had a friend that used to be really good at it. He could turn a 7-iron over and hit it about 140 yards, 150 yards, as well as you could hit it, a 7-iron the right way. And it's not easy to do, but she did it, just boom, knocked it up on the green. So I saw that on a YouTube video. I tried to watch it on Peacock. I do have Peacock. It's a free subscription, and they wanted me to pay $5 for it. And so I didn't do that. And for some reason on Sunday, I went to watch it because I knew it was on NBC, and I was blocked from watching it on NBC. Don't ask me why, but I could not get the Women's PGA. And I think that's really odd that here we have an LPGA major championship, and I can't get it on streaming or somehow on my big screen. So these are some issues that I think that the new commissioner is going to have to work out. How can you not be able to see a women's major championship on mainline streaming channels, Carlos?
Yeah, that's really unacceptable. We have to work on that. I was able to watch that, and that's something that we were talking off camera. Definitely has me curious. I don't have that subscription. I was able to watch it, so we'll see. But if it's that way, or they are really restricting it by zones or anything, that shouldn't be either. But we'll see. Again, going back to Nelly Korda, I'm really excited about her. We're going to see her and her sister in 3 weeks in Michigan, playing in the team competition there.
I'm going to go to that, Carlos. I'm going to be up there for that.
Let's see if we can get something from either one of them. It would be great to have her on the show. Nelly called her sister and the team for her and her sister, Team Jelly. Jessica and Nelly, right? So it's just a fun thing. They called her father and younger brother Sebastian, who's playing in Wimbledon after she won, and there's no sibling rivalry here. You can see the family really yells together. There was, some very nice words there. But now Jessica and Nelly Korda definitely is here to stay. I expect her to be here for a long while. It's going to be great to see her there. Ying Young Ko, we know that she's still getting back into the action. Yes, she has played, but not as often as Jessica. Jessica has played 10 times already. This year, she has 3 wins, 8 top 10s this season in 10 tournaments. She leads the LPGA with 200 birdies. And also, one thing that is very important, she also leads with 25 rounds in the 60s. Okay, she's also leading the first with the most eagles in 2021 with 9. She had 2, you mentioned it, like we mentioned, Sunday's final round at the KPMG. So looking forward to seeing more of her. She's also an Olympian, so we will see her playing with her sister who nailed her the 4th last spot there. Also, we're going to see Lexi Thompson and Danielle Kang. So we'll see them there, and for sure, I'm sure that they will be paired in the Solheim Cup. So Nelly Korda, this is here to stay. top of the rankings, at top of the leaderboards. So we better get used to it. Fred, any final words before we close?
No, really, really good back-to-back weeks for Nelly Korda, getting to #1 in the world. It's exactly what the LPGA Tour needs, is an American woman at the top of the Rolex rankings and doing well and dominating. That will bring more eyeballs to the women's tour, Carlos.
Definitely agree. That's something that was needed. And it's not that we're getting any knock on the international players, that we love the international players, especially the LPGA. We have been on record on this. But also, when you're talking about the LPGA, that's an American tour, even though it's an international one. And when you want to have the Americans watch even more, having an American at the top, that's going to bring a lot of more eyeballs. So anyway, thank you for joining us. It's always our pleasure to bring you the latest in golf news and information. For more information, to stay tuned to everything that we publish, just subscribe to our channel or go to Twitter and follow us at Back9 Report with the number 9 in the middle. Thank you for joining us.